Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to do Harinam Sankirtan can do.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Means chanting or some bhajan?
Yeah, anything, whatever is your preference.
Okay. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Lily Mataji. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
So we have our speaker, His Grace Sadhu Sevan Prabhu has joined. Hare Krishna Prabhu, welcome and kindly take over the session, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranams. Prabhu, you're muted, Prabhu. You need to unmute yourself. And you're the host, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, all the Prabhujis and Matajis, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. So I will share my screen for the Mangalacharan. Is my voice okay, Mataji? Screen I'm going to share now, but am I audible now?
Yeah, voice is clear. Yes, yes.
Okay. So we will begin with the Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjala-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastote Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Vrishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I welcome you all once again, and I am going to share today's verse now. Just give me a second, please. Okay, here we go. So today is verse 19. Yes. So as usual, before we start going through the verse and the description, the reason and how today's verse is going to help us is if we just take a keyword, say switch, right? In our rooms we have an electric switch, right? That switch, if we turn on, then there is a light everywhere and we can see everything. And when we turn off the switch, then we don't see anything, and we are in the darkness. So that is the theme and the foundation of what we are going to read today. And more details we will cover when we actually go through the purport. So basically, with the help of this switch example, we are going to understand how important the Krishna consciousness is in our life. Okay. So I'll read the verse, then we'll go further. Tatvani purva rudani karanani parasparam samavaya paraya gaccha vibinani prathak prathak chit shaktya sajjamanotha bhagwan adi purusha yoga yojayan namaya ya devo yoga nidram akalpayat. Yes. Someone wants to read the verse? We can take 2 or 3 maximum.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Tatvani purvarudhani karanani parasparam samavaya prayogacha vibhinnani pratak pratak चिच्चक्त्या सज्जमानोऽथ भगवानादिपुरुषः योजयन्मायया देवो योगनिद्रामकल्पयत्.
Wonderful. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you. Oh, next is wonderful Krishna. Yes, Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Shravji.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Shall I
please
read the sloka?
Yes, Mataji. Sloka, please read.
Tatvani purvarudani karanani parashparam samavaya prayogascha vibhinnani pratak pratak chikshaktya sajamanota bhagavanadi purushah yojayan mayaya devo yoga nitram akalpayat. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. This wonderful Krishna is one of the book by our Guru Maharaj. So thank you for reminding that. So
This is a long time. By default, the profile picture came, Prabhuji. Actually, so by that time, I was most of the links I used to delete it and keep it only as Sindhu. But some Zoom upgradation, no, it is automatically coming. Wonderful Krishna.
no, that's okay. What is notes arrangement? I mean, we were involved in the translation of that book, so it describes all the qualities of the Lord Krishna and in a very nice manner. Like each quality, one paragraph, then followed by next paragraph. So it's a very nice book. We had a chance to read recently. Thank you so much for reminding. Sorry for that. Sorry for diverting. Yes. So anyone else wants to read the sloka?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Tatvani purvarudhani karanani parasparam samavaya prayogacha vibhinnani pratak pratak chichaktya sajjamanotha bhagavan adipurushah yojayanmayaya devo yoga nidram akalpayat. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You all read very, very nicely. Thank you. So translation. Yes. We can start with the translation also. Anyone wants to read the translation, please? Nidhi Mataji. Those who have not read, we can give them the chance. Nidhi Mataji, please read the.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Brahmaji. Yes, please read.
Before their conglomeration, the primary elements in their nascent state remained originally separate entities. Non-application of the conglomerating process is the cause of their separate existence. Divine Mahavishnu, primal Godhead, through association with his own spiritual potency, moved Maya, and by the application of the conglomerating principle, created those different entities in their state of cooperation. And after that, he himself consorted with Yoga Nidra by way of his eternal dalliance with his spiritual potency. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here Brahmaji is saying that conglomeration means grouping them, okay, putting them together. So before conglomeration, the primary elements in their initial, right, infant kind of like separated state remained originally separate entities. So like we have 5 Panchabhutas, right? Ether, air, water, earth, fire. So they are by themselves, they cannot create anything, right? But when they are put together, the entire nature manifests. So non-application of the conglomerating process is the cause of their separate existence. So in the beginning, like they were all separate, okay, and they were not in the applied state. They were all like separated from each other. Now we discussed, right? Our theme is that switch. Now divine Mahavishnu turns on the switch, okay, who is none other than Krishna, through the association of his chitta, spiritual potency. he moved Maya, and by the application of the conglomerating principles, created those different entities in their state of cooperation. And after that, he himself consorted with the Yoga Nidra by way of his eternal dalliance with his spiritual potency. So the Lord is always, right? He says, Vara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. So Chit means full of knowledge. So which is also called, let me just mute some. Okay. So the Lord is always in full of knowledge. Okay. Yoga Nidra is also called. And when in this material world, when this creation happens due to the glance of the Lord on the matter, this Prakriti manifests. Okay. And Maya is also like, she's also called Durga. And we know the meaning of Durga is one, like a jailer. She's like a jailer. So she keeps all the living entities inside this material world. Why does Maya does so? So first of all, she's also the energy of the Lord, right? Why should a devotee of the Lord, Maya is also a devotee, right? Maya is a devotee of the Lord. Why is she keeping all the living entities in this world? So if we ask a question, right, when we are serving the Lord, and if someone is struggling very hard in his life, we go and preach them, right? We are the followers of Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jare Dekho Tare Kaho, Krishna Upadesh. So we have to go and preach everybody. Maya Devi is also the devotee of the Lord. Why is Maya Devi not allowing people to go outside of this material world? It is something very, very interesting.
Yeah, she's perverted.
Perverted, yes, Mataji. Yes. So, and the original is Srimati Radharani, right? Rama. So from there, the perverted form of Srimati Radharani is Maya here. Fine. Now, still, okay, whether it is perverted or the actual one, devotee of the Lord is devotee, right? Ashish Seva Padaratam Pirastuva Madasana Marmata Karotuva Yata Tatava Vidatu Lampato Matprana Nathastu Sevana. So Mahaprabhu in his 8th verse of 6th Ashtakam, right? He's saying, whether you accept me, whether you reject me, you are my supremely worshipable Lord. Okay, whether you keep me in hell or you keep me in heaven, or whether in perverted or non-perverted or wherever, I want to worship you. Now, Maya Devi, okay, she, as we discussed, is like jailer. So when we say a jailer is taking care of the of the prisoner in the jail, it does not mean the jailer is against those prisoners. It is the duty that is assigned to the jailer by the government. Okay, Maya Dekshena Prakriti, right? We will read in the purport also. Lord has appointed Maya Devi to take care of the people in this material world. How Maya Devi is taking care of us, it is something very interesting to deep dive. Okay, we in this material world, I want to show. Okay, Veda base, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1. I guess it is, or I will read the advanced view. This statement I really liked a lot and I wanted to share. Yes. This is the second verse of the first chapter of the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It describes Grah Medhi and Grastha. So Grasthas are those family members who are they live on the transcendental platform for realizing the ultimate truth. But Grah Medhis are those who are for their own benefit. The definition and the boundary of Grah Medhi may be concentrated upon self, to our family, to our society, to our city, to our country, to human race, or anything, but it has a boundary. When we are Grah Medhi, we want everyone inside that territory to be very happy. Outside that boundary, we are always envious of each other. Okay? Because a Grah Medhi, this purport mentions, a Grah Medhi cannot be happy by looking at any second Grah Medhi. So now, one should not therefore become a Grah Medhi simply to exist for envying others. Okay? With a little hard statement by Prabhupada. We are existing in this world simply to envy each other when we are there at the platform of Grah Medhi. And then one should become a real householder in terms of scriptural injunctions. Okay. Why did we jump to this shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam? Is because in this world, we are always, until we are in Krishna consciousness, we are always envious of each other. Okay, and we want only our happiness. We want only our happiness. Now, if Maya Devi, for a minute, allows us to exit from this jail and say we get an entry somehow into the spiritual planets, then until we leave this envious nature, then if we go there without sufficient qualification, we will end up making even blunders there. We will spoil the entire atmosphere because we are not at that level. Okay, so in a way, it is a mercy of Maya Devi that she is keeping us here and giving us one challenge after the another, just to make us realize we are very, very insignificant. Until we actually realize our position, okay, we will always be distressed. The region of the distress may change from one to another, but distress will always be there. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, okay.
திங்க் பண்ணி பார்த்தேன். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒண்ணு எழுத வேண்டாம்.
Sorry,
அந்த வடிவக்கரசி இந்த சங்கீதால வந்து குழப்பி.
Okay. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita 20.117 says, Krishna boli se jiva anadi bahirmukha ateva maya tare deya samsara dukha. So Maya Devi is actually giving all this distress because the jiva has forgotten the Lord. Its translation is, forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by the external features from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy, Maya, gives him all kinds of miseries in this material world. So, this morning only, I was hearing a small lecture by His Holiness Navayogendra Swami Maharaj, who is one of the very senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So he was mentioning every night when we sleep, when we see the dream, in the dream, sometimes we are very rich, sometimes we are a king, sometimes we even die. On anything and everything can happen in dream. When we are in the dream, we are considering the dream as if it is real. Okay, for those minutes, for those hours of night when we are in the dream is everything to us. The moment we wake up from the sleep, we realize that was not our actual position. But unfortunately, we get into a different dream, meaning though we are out of so-called sleep, but when we are awake, okay, we consider even this life, okay, full of, which is also full of sometime similar happiness, sometime distressed, with our own so-called reasons. Okay, so when we close our eyes, meaning at the time of death, this dream also finishes, right? So beautifully Maharaj was explaining, one dream breaks when we open the eyes, and the second dream breaks when we close our eyes. Our very same people whom we always, we were depending on them, right? Saying they will save us from all the dangers. The very same people now are in hurry because the shape of the body, the form, right? Our face, everything changes as soon as the soul leaves the body. And then everybody is in hurry to take us out from the house. The very same house where we have invested our everything, each and every moment of our life. Not only materially, but emotionally also. So another dreams also breaks when we close our eyes. So Maya Devi, summary of what we discussed so far is, Maya Devi keeping us in this world, okay, is her mercy. She is a devotee of the Lord and she is doing her service. Now, Maya Devi holds the Trishula, right? Trident. So that same Trishula, same Maya, same this material world becomes our way to go back home, back to Godhead, when the Maya is flipped, right? The Trishula becomes the way, the path. And this all happens when we turn the switch on, when we are into the knowledge and the light of Krishna consciousness. Because Maya can do anything with us. But once a jiva wants to surrender to the Lord, even Maya Devi is happy. We must pray to Maya Devi every day, okay, that I have been serving you for so many lives. Okay, you are also a devotee of the Lord. Kindly help me so that I do not get influenced. I remain aloof by the things. We are not here to challenge anyone. In Krishna consciousness, we are surrendering to the Lord, right? There is no place of negativity, even towards Maya. Okay, so we must very humbly request, oh my dear Maya Devi, kindly help me. Okay, and now the same Trishula, as we discussed, right, becomes turn, right, and then it does not disturb us. And when we follow the path of bhakti, right, when we take the shelter, even Maya Devi, the Atya Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Graham Indriya, right, Sevo Mukha Jivadu Swam Eva Spurtiyada. By using our tongue, okay, Sevo Mukha Jivadu, how do we do the service by tongue? The same tongue we have been using to satisfy our senses. Okay. Now, when we serve the Lord by using this tongue, by two functions. One, by chanting the name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and by taking Krishna Prasadam. Then Krishna will reveal himself. So let us read further in the purport and then we will discuss more. So anyone wants to, those who have not read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna, translate purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Maya dakshena prakriti shuyate sacha charam. Bhagavad Gita 9.10. The mundane energy Prakriti gives birth to this universe of animate and inanimate beings of my direction. The purport of this sloka of the Gita is that Maya, the perverted reflection of spiritual chit potency, was at first inactive, and her extension of matter constituting the material cause was also in the separately dislocated state. In accordance with the will of Krishna, this world is manifested as the resultant of the union of the efficient of and the material causal principle of Maya. In spite of that, the spiritual Supreme Lord himself remains united with his chit potency, Yoga Nitra. The word Yoga Nitra or Yoga Maya indicates as follows. The nature of chit potency is manifested of the absolute truth, while the nature of her perverted reflection, Maya, is envelopment in the gloom of ignorance. When Krishna desires to manifest something in the mundane ignorance wrapped affairs, he does this by the conjunction of his spiritual potency with his inactive non-spiritual potency. This is known as Yoga Maya. It carries a twofold notion, namely transcendental notion and mundane inert notion. Krishna himself, his subjective portion, and those jiva who are his unalloyed separated particles realize the transcendental notion in that conjunction, while conditioned souls feel the mundane inert notion. The external coating of transcendental knowledge in the conscious activities of conditioned souls bear the name of Yoga Nidra. This is also an influence of the chit potency of the divinity. This principle will be more elaborately considered the hereafter. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Hari Bol. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So, as I have just highlighted here, Maya is the envelopment in the gloom of ignorance. So, see, we always need to be in Maya. There is no doubt about that. One can be Mahamaya, which is the ignorance, and another can be Yoga Maya, when we are in knowledge. In the very same line, right? Very like in a, I heard a small, very interesting line that we are always das, right? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it says, right? Gopir Bhartupat Kamalyor Das Dasanu Dasa. So we are always servant. Now the choice is ours, whether we want to surrender to the Lord and come to the light of Yoga Maya, or we turn backward to the Lord and go towards Mahamaya, this material energy. Now it says like we are always das, right? So if we take the shelter of the Lord, we are like bindas. And when we don't, when we are moving backward, right? And when we are facing towards Maya, then it is like udas. So das is the postfix, right? In both the case, udas or bindas. So choice is ours. And that's why like we jivas are also called marginal energy of the Lord, because marginal means tatastha. When we are there on the ocean, the bank, right, bank of the ocean, then there is a choice whether which side we want to go into. Whichever direction we surrender into, we will be into that effect. So in this same line, okay, Krishna bahir mukha hona bhoga vancha kare nikat stha maya dare chapatiya dare. This is from Prema Vivarta Purana. So Maya Devi is doing her work. Okay, if we are being bahir mukha, right, against the Lord, then we have all these desires of bhoga vancha. We want to all these six opulences, right? fame, right? Opulences, right? Renunciation, beauty, knowledge, and strength. These 6 opulences of the Lord. We feel we also want to own that same thing. So we get into the Bhogavansha. We also we do develop those desires to do more and more sense gratification. And then when we do that, then Maya Devi slaps us immediately. Just think for a moment, if Maya Devi stops slapping us, what will happen? In today's world, we are getting slapped every day, right? We make some plan, immediately it is no, I mean, immediately Maya Devi destroys that plan. It makes us to feel, right, we are nothing. Even after all these problems are happening, somehow or other, we find a reason every single day. This material world, yes, very, very challenging. Oh, the moment I wake up, till I go to office, till I return back from office, till I sleep, so many challenges comes all day, right? Someday we are not physically well. Someday some of our friend relatives is not well. Someday mosquitoes are more. Some days weather is not suitable. I mean, it is either raining or very hot or very cold. Okay, some incidents happens here and there, and out of all these, right, still we always find very successfully a reason. Yes, this material world is so distressful, but it is not bad. I can still find a way to adjust here. What if we do not get slapped by Maya Devi? Okay, we will never wish to go back from here. That is the reason even demigods wants to take birth in this Bharat Bhumi, right? Because there is no problem in the heavenly planets. That is the problem. Okay, sometimes we in this world, please hear this thing very, very, very attentively. It is for all of us. In this world, many times we feel, oh, this life is very boring. We are so much used to of the challenges, of the problems. Someday, when we do not get any problem, that becomes the reason of the worry. Oh, is everything okay? Nothing, no news, nothing is happening. Am I missing something? Right? It happens. Most of us. Having no problem, we cannot digest because we are so much used to being surrounded by the problems always. And in the spiritual, in the heavenly planets, right? There actually none of these, at least these everyday struggle for the basic necessity of the life. Okay, these struggles are not there, and because these struggles are not there, then we do not feel ourselves insignificant. We feel we are also very important, and we spend our whole life. Okay, Prahlad Maharaj says, right, in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, when we take birth, initial first 10 years we spend in playing with our friends, right, with our toys, then studies, then marriage, then taking care of the family, and then when we get old. So whole life, it is like big cheating for us, with us. We spend our whole life without actually getting a chance to know what is the real purpose of the life. So the choice is ours, whether we turn that switch on by taking the shelter of the Lord, or remain in the darkness by turning the switch off. And when the switch is off, we all would have experienced that the things we may consider a rope as a snake and a snake as a rope. Anything can happen, right? When we are in the darkness. So when we don't even know who we are, how we can know who are our friends, who are not, what is good for me or what is not. First, we should know, our journey should start from who we are. Who am I, to be more specific? Okay. The Lord is very, very merciful. He is always with us, whichever form of the life we are into. Because Purushottam month just finished yesterday, right? So 15th chapter describes so much about the Lord. And the shloka number 15.16 and 17, right? 16, 17, and 18, I guess they are also called Tri Shloki Bhagavad Gita. So there it describes that all the two kinds of living entities, fallible and infallible. So fallible are those which are bound to be, which are always conditioned. Okay. And this is in the Ekpad Vibhuti, it is also called, all the material universes. And the spiritual worlds, including Vaikuntha, Goloka, Vrindavana, they are called Tripad Vibhuti, because those are infallible. In those, there is no question of repeated birth and death. Okay. So Lord had to create this. It's like a big house. If a child is naughty, and if he wants to imitate the father, if he wants to enjoy independently, the father tells the child, okay, you go in a separate room. Do not disturb others in the rest of the house. And the child goes into his room, playing area, and he is enjoying independently. So father, the very same father has made the arrangements for we jivas. Okay. When we are in our playing area, it does not mean we cannot go back, but we must be convinced that that playing area cannot satisfy our eternal thirst, eternal hunger. We need to be with our Supreme Father and Mother and go out of that playing area and be with them. It's just a small analogy, but message is very clear. Other rooms have our other siblings, okay, who are mature enough, and they now know this material world, that one room is not the ideal place to be into. Okay. So let us all surrender to the Lord, taking the help of the association. Okay. Because this chitta we discussed, right? This is the knowledge. When we understand, this is the influence of the chitta potency of the divinity. So further shlokas are going to describe it even more. But for now, the only takeaway, as we discussed in the beginning, is the switch. And we need to be not in the complaining mood, because it was our choice. Maya Devi is doing its task. There is no point in complaining and cursing. Why with me? Why Maya Devi is creating so many problems for us? Maya Devi is doing her work, her duty, very, very dutifully. Okay. Let us learn. When we want to progress in our life, we have to learn at our each and every step. And we cannot do it ourselves independently. When we have that hankering, the Lord reveals himself. Swayam eva spurtiyata, right? We discussed when we serve the Lord with our tongue. Anything and everything in our position, right? Let us see that in the perspective of how this is related with the Lord and his energy. Let us not look at the things in an independent manner. Because when we are independent, there is a very high risk. We don't know a boat which has lost its direction, which part of the ocean it will lead to. So with this, we are done with the today's. But if we have any comments, questions, or suggestions, we can take. We are a little early today before the time. But if you have any suggestions, comments, or questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, we are done for the day. I see Nidhi Mataji's house hand raised. So, Mataji, you want to ask something, or it was previously raised? Okay. All right then.
Krishna Prabhu, I have one doubt, Prabhu.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Tatastha Shakti.
Yes.
Because in Bhagavad Gita we have read Jiva Shakti is a superior energy, no Prabhu.
Yes.
But Chaitanya Charitamrita, it describes as Tatastha Shakti. What I am thinking is we are really superior energy, the living entity, the Atma. But because of our minute independence, we are placed in that place only. This Tatastha Shakti is not a separate energy of the Lord, no Prabhu?
Okay. So Tatastha Shakti means, Mataji, we are, we have a choice. Tata means, right, the shore, ocean, the shore of the ocean, right, the beach. So we have a choice whether we want to go towards the land side or towards the ocean side. So to whom we want to surrender to. That is the meaning of Tatastha. We are part and parcel of the Lord. We are meant to be there with the Lord in his spiritual abode. But as you said, we wanted to enjoy independently. So we have started identifying ourselves with the body. That is the problem. In Hindi, if I say, we don't know कि हमारा कितना फजीयत हो रहा है, like we don't know what compromising situations we are into, because we are not here. We are like a small example of if we take the cub of the lion, right? If it starts playing with the small dogs, right, puppies, so it will count, because since beginning only he's playing with them. He will feel he's also one among them. So we have started identifying ourselves as this body, which is dull matter, which is bound to decay, bound to finish at one day. All the relations of this body we are considering as our relations. So we are putting ourselves into the compromising situation because it is bound to finish. It is bound to give us distress, because we are not the matter. The day we started realizing that this is not our real home, this is not our real body, it is just a situation that we are into. I heard recently, I don't know whether we had discussed it in our previous session, from ISKCON Kolkata, there is a very nice Prabhu, His Grace Maharaj Prabhu. So he had told a very beautiful line that in our life, okay, let me just hear some noise.
Krishna Prabhu, can I, Hare Krishna?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, you said Ekpada Vibhuti and Tripada Vibhuti. Is there a specific explanation for this, Prabhu? So if you can explain. Radhika here, Hare Krishna.
Ekpada Vibhuti stands for the material creations, Mataji.
Means what, Prabhu?
It means out of the 4 parts.
Okay. 25 and 75%. Got it,
yes.
Prabhu.
And 3 parts means 25 into 3.
Sure. Thank you so much. Got it.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
So I was telling about His Grace Maharaj Prabhu. So he was telling whichever situation we are into life, we just need to see how I can use this current situation in the service of the Lord. See, these problems are not there for the first time and they are not there for the last time. Those problems are there. Why? Because we are in the bodily platform. We are considering ourselves the body. That's why those problems are our problem. Okay? The day we know we ourselves are not this body, then those so-called problems, even when they exist, okay, we will never take them so seriously. This material world is not meant to be taken so seriously, which we are taking it every day and night. A small thought spoils our whole day. It happens with any one of us, every one of us. Right? Okay. So let us see this challenge. Nothing. See, there are. It is learning from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 18th and 19th chapter. The situation of Parikshit Maharaj. He was cursed by the sage of the king, by the son of the sage Shamika Rishi. Okay, he is the father who was meditating, and Shringi, his son, he had cursed. He had cursed him wrongly for a mistake which is very, very small as compared to the punishment given. So Parikshit Maharaj was a Raja Rishi. He was equally powerful to counteract that curse. Okay, but he accepted the curse, and the Lord arranged to send Shukadeva Goswami, same Shukadeva Goswami, who never used to stay in any household place for a period more than milking a cow. Godohan is called. That same Shukadeva Goswami stayed with Parikshit Maharaj for 7 days, 7 nights, and told the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. Why we are discussing this here? Because let us at least theoretically, okay, day before yesterday was the India's Independence Day, right? So what is our real freedom? The real freedom is the freedom from our thoughts, from our conditioned mind. Okay, so let us, from today, let us at least try. What? Whenever any challenge, problem comes in our life, we are not fully convinced. No problem. Accept it is happening for our own good. Okay, I'll share my screen. I was writing an answer actually in the same. Maybe if you find it very interesting, you can take it as a reference. Give me a second. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, I hope it is visible. So this is the analysis of the events which happened in the life of Parikshit Maharaj. His birth happened when Ashwathama had targeted the Brahmastra. What was the result? Was the result favorable for Parikshit Maharaj? Yes, it was favorable. How? Because Lord entered the womb and protected Parikshit Maharaj. This is one event. Second event, Parikshit Maharaj meets with Kali. Okay, and then description is Mother Earth and religion in the form of bull. They were in miserable condition because Kali had attacked them. They were standing on one leg. Out of 4, bull, the religion, was standing on the one leg. Mother Earth was also in very difficult situation. Now, what was the result? Was it favorable? Yes, favorable. Why? Because Maharaj Parikshit banished Kali so that the religious principles could continue. Fourth action. I'm jumping to the fourth one. The last 7 days, Shukadeva Goswami visits, what we just discussed. Was it favorable? Yes, it was favorable. Because Maharaj Parikshit hears Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadeva Goswami, and the whole society is benefited. In between, this curse happens. Assume ourselves into one of these conditions. We are not cursed. In Kali Yuga, curses don't work, fortunately. So Now, this is the yuga of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is the mercy yuga, not the curse yuga. Otherwise, if everyone curses everyone else, the world will finish in a day or maybe less than that. This is the yuga of mercy. Mercy works here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With every syllable that we chant, we become a different person. It is a mercy yoga. Okay, coming to the third row. Shringi curses for a very small mistake. Maharaj Parikshit is given curse to die by a snake bite in 7 days. This is a takeaway. For this row, this cell, I opened this sheet. Curse has happened. We don't know the reality. What is going to happen? I have made it green, bold. Accept, yes, it is favorable for us. I know it is very difficult. When the problem happens with us, there is a real test. It is very easy to say. But when we are in this peaceful mind, when we are in the association of the devotees, if we learn something here, at least there are chances to apply it when we need it. If we are disturbed even now, there is no possibility of applying it even later at all. Right? So I completely agree. In this forum, saying anything and then later facing it, two different sides of the story, right? Completely different. But if we at least have this thing somewhere in our mind, somewhere in our heart, maybe there are chances of applying it. So let us try and pray the Lord that we apply this. What do we apply? Yes, the situation that has happened, it is favorable. And the second part, I have made in gray, which is less easily visible. Why? Because we may not see the result of that immediately, but the time will reveal it. Okay? It helped Maharaj Parikshit to renounce everything immediately. If that curse had not happened, Maharaj Parikshit, he was a great devotee from the birth, but would have not renounced his kingdom so immediately until, right, something like this would have happened. So the takeaway from here is green means we must not have any doubt immediately. Means make sure in your mind, yes, I know it is difficult to accept. I know it is becoming more undigestible. My heart is getting filled with mountains of stones with the pain of that challenge which has come. Fine, at least accept somewhere that it is the blessing of the Lord. And the gray part we may not be able to see immediately when it happens, but time will reveal it. So I close the screen sharing now. I don't know what was the context why we started, but the point here is we should be very convinced that what is happening is good. I may not know the reason immediately. Time will reveal it.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Thank you so much, Baji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, one more last question.
Yes, please.
Prabhu, you said that Kali is a age of mercy and not curse, which I agree. That is why mentally we think good, it happens, we get credit, but negativity does not affect. But here also there are a lot of people who say, this person cursed and because of that, this happened to the family. This curse is like hitting their family for ages. Is this all their own coincidence and assumption, Prabhu?
Okay. Very good question, Mataji. Thanks for asking that.
Sure,
So, yes, someone curses and some action happens. The person who is cursing is at what platform? And the person who is being cursed is at what platform? And what loss has happened is at what platform? This is the thing we need to ask. Now, Narada Muni cursed the sons of Kuvera. Right? We hear that in Damodarashtakam. The curse helped the children to be liberated. Because one who gave the curse was Narada Muni. His level, his platform was different.
Yes,
now, we in this world, say, getting cursed by our neighbor, our colleague, any person in this world. They are doing so because they are physically on this bodily platform, they have either we have offended them or whatever thing. They are cursing at the bodily platform. Okay? If at all, there is nothing in front of the mercy of the Lord. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's Yuga. He is the Yuga Avatara, right? We discussed 6 types of avatars: Leela Avatar, Shakti Avatar, Purusha Avatar, Yuga Avatar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kali Yuga, Yuga Avatar. Nothing can withstand in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay. Now, if somebody is still cursing and if the results are happening, those are happening at the bodily platform. It is good. Let us we will repeat the same instance of Parikshit Maharaj. He cursed. Parikshit Maharaj has to. None of us is Parikshit Maharaj's level here, even financially or right, physically. We are nowhere. Parikshit Maharaj could defeat Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga was trembling in front of Parikshit Maharaj. We are not at that level. He was cursed. And he did not take even a moment to tell the pin of his credit card or debit card to his son. What I meant is for us, like.
Sure.
Right? So,
Yes, sir.
So if it is happening, everything is the mercy of the Lord. We may not be able to see it. Time will reveal it. But green, accept. Gray, time will reveal it.
Yeah, so there is a possibility, I'm sorry, Prabhu, I didn't really understand. What you're telling is if you get a curse, accept it. That I understood. But in Kali Yuga, it is not possible. That also I understood. But what you're telling is in case it happens, that also to accept. Is that what you're saying, Prabhu?
Yes, Maharaji. Yes. We are not here to counteract anybody. We are the followers of Parikshit Maharaj. If they are saying something, let them say.
Understood.
We are here to accept and give the mercy. Right? We are not here to give the curse and not the other way.
Not counter curse. Got it, Prabhu.
Yes.
Sure. But will it affect at all, Prabhu? That was my doubt. Is it more like a superstition or genuinely it exists? That was my doubt, actually. I understood the way we have to handle, but sorry for clarifying again, because I cannot understand. What I was asking is the curse more like a superstition? Like sometimes, many things are superstitious. It's not spiritual. So is the curse in Kali Yuga superstition or is it genuine? That was my doubt, Prabhu.
Okay. Curses do not work in Kali Yuga, Mataji. It is not fact. Okay.
Understood.
Now, please read Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 5th chapter, sloka number 20 and 21. For a devotee who is chanting the name of the Lord,
it does not apply.
Yes, his life is manually, he personally taken care by the Lord. If some challenges, if some curse, if some problem is happening, it is not because of his karma or because of the curse of somebody else. Lord is allowing for us to be purified and to become a better person. So we are facing anything not because of somebody's curse, because Lord has permitted it.
Got it,
The verses you told 1.5.20, Prabhuji.
20 and 21.
Okay, 1/5 chapter. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very clear.
Krishna, Prabhu, can I ask something?
Yes, please, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah, so Prabhu, one thing is that, okay, you're talking about conditioned souls, then who curses or not, and they are on spiritual platforms and all. There are people who are doing a lot of other things like black magic, other things, and putting things, whoever is in Krishna Sharanam, they are protected by the Lord and taken care of. But otherwise, how things happen? I would want if you can shed some light on it.
Okay. Maharaji, our magician is Krishna, who is also black. So he's the biggest magician. Okay. If anything, if somebody is doing anything, okay, it is when we are devotee, when we are trying to take the shelter. Okay, who's a devotee? Who is even trying to take the shelter of the Lord is a devotee. We are yet to become a devotee. Are we trying? Yes. Okay. We are also considered into this category. Anybody doing any kind of magic, okay, against us, in favor of us, everything does not matter. Because one who is doing the black magic wants something good for somebody, bad for somebody. No, we want to transcend them. Transcend means we want to go above both of them. This is not our world. This is not our stadium. Like cricket match happens, right? Stadium. This is not our stadium to play. We are here just to use our every moment, our every challenge in the service of the Lord. Let people do anything. We will give them Harinam. Followers of Nityananda Prabhu, right? Akaroda Premananda Nityananda Rai Abhimana Shunanitai Nagare Bedai. People are not entertaining. People are closing the doors. Okay, we cannot suffer more than what Jagai and Madai did for Nityananda Prabhu. We are his followers. So, see, Mataji, I'm not answering your question directly. Okay, I'm not expert into those things, right? Like magic and this thing. What I'm trying to convey is, we don't need to worry. I mean, let people do anything or anything. When they see us, Lord, and nothing can happen without the mercy, without the will of the Lord. That is very true. He is the supreme.
Yes,
Anything
Prabhu,
else?
what you said is very right. The only thing is, when somebody is doing negative things against you, it's not even in terms of black magic, otherwise also it affects you. But and that Maya Devi is there, like you said, it keeps on slapping and all that. So how we just transcend all this? Because when you are in that situation, you're just lost. So my thing is, we are into Sharanam, we can chant, we can do read scriptures, we can do whatever we can and surrender to the Lord. That is one thing. But every day, if you have to struggle through these things, how to like manage yourself is more important. Like,
okay. So, Maraji, I discussed this in I think recently in our Bhagavad Gita class. Okay, so it is 12:34. Those who are in hurry and want to leave, please feel free. Okay, our session is over. So I'm enjoying this question answer session and learning from each other. Okay, an example to answer this question: if a person has a check of worth 2 crore rupees, and if the person puts that check into the dustbin, how many rupees he will get back, Mataji?
nothing, Prabhu.
Yes. If he puts that check into the bank, how much money he will get?
2 crores.
Very good. You answered the question, Mataji. These challenges which are coming in our life, okay, the difficult situations, the need of tolerating is a check. We have two options: by complaining against that, by feeling distressed, okay, by counteracting them, by trying to justify. All these are different types of dustbin. Wet, we hear, right? We have in our homes wet, dry, plastic, glass. These are different types of dustbin. But all are dustbin. We are throwing our check in those dustbins. Now, oh Lord, you had decided me to be into this situation because of my karmas, because of my desire of independence. Now, please help me to remember you. Let my mind not be focused on any of these things. Is the check getting deposited into the bank? And Lord never runs out of cash. He wants to give even more than what check we have. He's not a miser person. He's not. There is no insufficiency there. So when we are using these challenges, take them as an opportunity, as a very precious check, and deposit it in the right place, rather than just finding another variant of the dustbin. It's a research, right? We always invent a new type of dustbin, and we feel, no, this time it was different problem. Hence, it is worth to be thrown into that unique dustbin which we have just invented. No, our only one shelter is the Lord, and He is our bank, and He's always waiting for us, life after life, 24/7. Even when we have been sleeping,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very well explained. Thank you. It really helped. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Thanks to you for asking this question. Yes. Okay. Any other thing we want to discuss, or we can close the session then? Otherwise.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very wonderful session and very, very nice question and answer session also. So thank you all the Matajis and Prabhus who asked the questions. Hare Krishna. So can we end the session, or anyone has any more points to ask or anything? All right. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Grantaraj Brahma Samhita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Meet you all tomorrow morning, 11:30. We will start with the next verse. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.